Oh boy, this definitely is one creepy real-life video game. As there's no winners of that game, as the Democratic Oversight Committee just announced that they have received 95,000 new photos from the Jeffrey Epstein account. As of course, they only released a few of them. Can you guess which ones? The ones that are the most politically charged against Donald Trump and his allies. We are going to be going over all of these photos. There's some more creepier than others, as there's some stuff there that's like, wait, what? What in the world's going on here? As news organizations are trying to do their best now to cover their buttocks here, reporting on this. And I think the context here really is of a way bigger extortion and manipulation operation here behind the scenes that absolutely deserves to be called out. Now, our FBI director is still telling us that he has no idea what the full picture of all of this is. I don't believe that. As Tucker Carlson is coming out and saying, yeah, I kind of know what happened here, and it involves foreign governments. All of this as the ambassador to Israel just made some interesting statements surrounding all of this. As I think Tucker hit the nail on the head, especially when it comes to adult sites that are now the new extortion, exploitation type of operations that are being run on everybody. Now, again, lots to talk about. A big mistake by this Trump administration that we're going to be talking about and how to fix it and how to rectify it. As of course, there's going to be some developments coming here in the next few days that are going to be big with this particular story. If you appreciate these types of videos, even though they don't do well in the algorithm, YouTube really doesn't like us talking about this. It hasn't helped us since we've been to the island and done a lot of different stuff regarding that and been talking about this for 15 years when everyone was telling us a conspiracy theory. Everyone's like, you're crazy. You think there's an island? I'm like, yeah, there's an island. They're like, no, you're crazy. And I'm like, well, we sure did prove a lot here. Now, if you appreciate it, subscribe, click the notification button. As the official Oversight Democratic Committee. And there's a reason they released this now, right? Because we're expected to have the full disclosure December 19th from this Trump administration. They're usurping that and saying, look what we got. Boom. Why are they doing that? Why? It's highly politically charged. Now, out of 95,000 photos, they only highlighted about 15, 20 of them. And guess what? Most of them are centered around Donald Trump. As of course, now they have all of the pictures to pick from in order to selectively curate and pick out their narrative. The narrative is a little bit more convoluted, as there's probably going to be revelations about tax schemes that have been engineered by Jeffrey Epstein. There's probably going to be information coming out potentially highlighting how Donald Trump was an FBI informant against Jeffrey Epstein, as Jeffrey Epstein's victims' lawyers have come out, one specifically, and said Donald Trump has been a big, tremendous help to them. This was many years ago. That same lawyer, those same victims came out and said, Trump, this is not a hoax. And then Trump came back out and said it's a hoax. And I'm like, come on. But these are the four photos that they deserve to, of course, highlight here. One, Woody Allen and another lady. Who's this lady? We kind of wonder, since the Democrats now get to black out a lot of these photos. By the way, some of these photos are old. Some of these photos have already been out there. And they, of course, are the most politically charged photos against Donald Trump. There's this photo highlighting Donald Trump with what looks like 5 ladies all around him, taken sometime in the 1990s. Here's, of course, a picture of Steve Bannon. The weirdest part of this photo, right, is that there's this photo here in the corner, which I think was also previously released, showing Epstein and a small child. And then this photo of what looks like of underage woman in a bathtub. which also was just released there. All of this, as what Epstein did, was out in the open. Everyone knew, yeah, this guy's a predator. This guy knows that he likes people who look like children or children. He liked braces. He liked a lot of stuff related to women either pretending or being underage. The guy literally had bedrooms in the back of his plane that Bill Clinton was on during what many people allege to be the abuses that have happened in the back of that plane, as even Dan Bongino, the deputy director of the FBI, before getting into a position of power on his show, talked about how his source was there on one of the planes, and they went in the back of the planes. Bill Clinton was there, and they did some weird stuff that freaked him out and made him afraid to be associated or close to any of those people and individuals, right? Now that's pretty big here, but of course, the House Democrat Oversight Committee also just released this video. Trump Jimmy hats with him saying, "I'm huge." Okay, it's like, gag, what does that have to do? I would say there's a lot of other stuff that's more important to kind of go after, and we're going to go over photo by photo now. But before we do, just really quickly and shortly, we wanted to remind you, sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. It's the only way that we kind of survive. Like, we don't survive if it's not for you. I don't work for any government. I don't work for any special interest groups. I don't work for any marketing PR agencies like a lot of other influencers do. I work for you directly, one-on-one. What is it? 20 cents a day, $8 a month. That's it. And then you get access to me. We're actually talking about these new photos in our members only Discord. You want to join that Discord? You want to join the conversation? Get on Discord right now by signing up and becoming a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. We also have the 3 channels for 3 of our master classes. We have channels about AMAs, questions that you guys want to ask me specifically. We have specific channels where we get to talk about life hacks, health hacks, and of course, the conversation is already very rich, very awesome, very incredible, and you guys are a big part of it. If you haven't gotten that link yet, make sure to log in or to check your email and join the Discord conversation, as it's more important than ever to help be a part of that conversation. LukeUnfiltered.com. Now, let's get back to these photos, because these photos are pretty bombastic, to say the least here. As of course, we're waiting for the full 95,000. I was like, 95,000? I'm like, oh boy, I better set my schedule aside to go through all of them. And of course they didn't. They released the most politically charged ones that make Donald Trump look bad, right? Now the first one is of jawbreaker gag. This one highlighting a glove that's used for adult activity. This one highlighting adult stuff as well. And then, of course, the first real photo is Steve Bannon here talking with Epstein. And we know Steve Bannon interviewed Epstein for a documentary that Steve Bannon says is going to be coming out in 2026. Now, is it actually going to be coming out? As there's a lot of footage here, and a lot of people allege that he was the one not just interviewing him, doing a documentary, but consulting him and working with him. And of course, this is the first photo that came out. Steve Bannon, Epstein, and I would love to hear more from Steve Bannon about what was really going on behind the scenes between them two. As of course, you also see Steve Bannon and Woody Allen hanging out. And this is what looks like his New York City apartment. Here's what looks like Epstein on a movie set. Woody Allen. Woody Allen, also a guy who's known for liking children, according to a lot of multiple sources. Allegedly, I don't know. I don't want to get sued. But pretty clear, this older guy has a long, extensive, weird history with children. Okay. The story tells itself. And of course, him hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. No surprise. As of course, Jeffrey Epstein was the guy procuring children to powerful people. This right here is the next one. And it's a kind of gag gift making fun of Donald Trump. Here's Larry Summers looking happier than ever. And another woman in front of him. I haven't been able to identify the other woman. It looks like that's also Woody Allen, by the way. Let me hold on, let me try to move this so we could actually see the full picture. There we go. All right, that looks like them on the private jet, hanging out, and Larry Summers, the Harvard guy, the Clinton Obama guy, the Bilderberg member guy, having the time, being happier than ever on the private jet-setting lifestyle. We have Richard Branson here on the island. I know Richard Branson had an island close to Epstein Island. Epstein Island was the only island. Epstein was actually buying a second island, building on top of it. That was actually way bigger, and developing more projects there that probably were a lot more creepy. I haven't been able to identify the third man. I think it's potentially Dean Kamen. I don't know. I haven't been able to verify that. But I think that's the inventor of the Segway, potentially. I have been able to verify that. This older photo of another photo from the Epstein estate, which again shows Donald Trump and what looks like a club setting, 5 women around him, his arm around one of them. Their identities have been covered, even though, and again, a lot of Democrats are like, look, he's with the children, and that's what everyone's leading with. This is the photo. All the news organizations, this is the photo. Why? The Trump administration should have released all this stuff, and they would have been the ones controlling the narrative. But because they're playing this like insane game of trying to cover this up, which we warned them about was going to fall back and blow up in their face, they're dealing with a huge significant loss of political capital, juju energy capital, motivation, the base, the people in the middle that are just disillusioned by all of this, because it's like, okay, we get photos after photos after photos of the Democrats dunking on them, and then all the alternative independent media people were like, hey, don't let them dunk on you. Let's actually control the narrative. Let's actually hold these guys accountable. And then Donald Trump, according to MTG, is telling her that people will be hurt and they need to be protected, and Trump is protecting them and falling on the sword of these powerful people who obviously are, some of them are predators, some of them are innocent, but it just needs to be kind of exposed. Another photo, Woody Allen, Epstein, very old photo, Epstein, Trump hanging out, as we know that they hang out here. Another photo here highlighting women on the wall whose faces have been blacked out. It looks like Bill Gates on the plane. Bill Gates was recently in Qatar, announced a big type of digital identification system upgrade that he's going to be doing, as of course he's also dining with Trump. And people are saying, why is Trump protecting this guy? As he's probably one of the main people being protected here. And look at these naughty men. Prince Andrew here looking over at Bill Gates. Multiple reports of Bill Gates at Microsoft trying to hit on ladies unsuccessfully. Prince Andrew, a man who can't sweat, allegedly, according to himself, and therefore innocent and exonerated of hurting Virginia Roberts Giuffre, that he paid out secretly in court to shut up and go away. And then, of course, this photo of Bill Gates about to get on a private jet. What private jet with who? Who else is there? It looks like that is a pilot there. And what does that pilot know? If you're Kash Patel, subpoena all these people now. Subpoena all of them. What did you guys do? What happened on that plane? What was this photo? Let's go. Another photo. Steve Bannon leaning in to Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, Alan Dershowitz, him with Jeffrey Epstein and his Harvard sweater. Woody Allen, Steve Bannon hanging out. I believe this photo was already released here. Looks like Donald Trump on the private jet. Whose private jet was Donald Trump on? Billy Boy with Ghislaine and Epstein. Epstein and Ghislaine, by the way, were just walking in and out of the White House when Bill Clinton was president of the United States. How is that? And the person that was their kind of middleman just passed away under mysterious circumstances. Look at that. What a coincidence. And of course, that, is the last photo here. And that's it. Out of 95,000 people, 95,000 photos, that's all you release right now? I'm like refreshing. I'm like, give me more. Where is it? We're not getting anything. I still have very serious questions. What the hell is that? And of course, the media reporting on this is just absolutely horrible. That's why we decided. And again, I'm like, oh yeah, this video doesn't do well, but we need to talk about it because it is of key utmost importance, as of course the 19th, the federal Trump administration files are supposed to come out. That's why that's why the Democrats released them now. Before that, Bill Clinton is supposed to testify. Before that, Hillary Clinton is supposed to testify days and hours leading up before this initial kind of release here. Now, Kash Patel was asked about this, and he came out and says, the government still doesn't have the full picture. We don't know what's going on here. We don't have the evidence. Come on. Get out.
On the Epstein files. The Epstein Files Transparency Act has a very tight deadline, 30 days, to produce unclassified records. Will the FBI meet the 30-day deadline?
Well, we are working with our partners at the Department of Justice to produce, as we've always committed.
Reports coming in over $1 million in overtime. FBI agents being taken off important cases to work on this. And like, we're working on it. And I'm like, what exactly are you working on?
To producing what we can lawfully, legally produce.
Lawfully, legally, that's because they opened up a new investigation. As of course, Tucker Carlson came out and he said the quiet part out loud. When Charlie Kirk told him to go max at the SAS Student Action Summit in Tampa, I was there at that event. Tucker came out and said, yeah, Epstein stuff is a foreign government operation meant to exploit and manipulate and blackmail our politicians, predominantly from Israel. He also came out and clarified the British government, too, as he previously spoke to Sean Ryan and says the files won't be released, just like the JFK files won't be released. And he's right. And listen, we're going to see another effort to try to make sure that these files never make the light of day. And that is sad. And that is just going to be a major stain on this administration that sadly won't be able to kind of move away from this because they're a part now officially of the criminal cover-up of small children getting hurt here by powerful men.
Do you think this is actually is this gonna come out?
The
Or has it all been shredded? I mean, Mark
I
Epstein
don't
said this
know,
is...
of course. I mean, we don't have the JFK files. And so then you ask, like, why don't we? Who is being protected here? There are no living stakeholders in that story. There's no living participant in that murder conspiracy. It was a conspiracy. We know that. So who were the participants in that conspiracy? Well, no one's still alive. So who could we possibly be protecting by not releasing all of those files? And that's a pretty short list of suspects. So I think we kind of know what that is.
Yep. And then he went on and then specifically talked about how a lot of, because like Epstein's the one that got like dirt on all these powerful people and all their kind of weird kinks and stuff that they did and stuff that they were into. Now you don't need to. Everything's digital. Everything's online. You have Wi-Fi that literally scans your entire room and knows exactly where you are and what you're doing. Plus, we have websites that are run and controlled by foreign intelligence services that highlight their kind of wants and kinks and needs, and that's how people are being used. As he previously describes it. Yeah, intel agencies used to get women that looked younger, that were underage, that were, allegedly 18, but they were really 16, 15, and then they set someone up that way. Sometimes it was just like pervy, weird, rich billionaires that were like trying to get their rocks off by doing weirder and crazier things that were like, yeah, give me the children, give me the babies. That happens in the minds of a lot of these sociopathic, insane, crazy people. Right, and that's how they used to work. Now it's like, we'll just look into all the weird stuff you're into and searching. And when you're having your little hanky-panky time.
how does it happen? We talked about this a little bit at breakfast. I don't think everything is transactional as it may seem.
Oh, no.
I think that, and this is from my own experience, and I don't believe I've fallen into any yet, but I think I have come close. I think they set traps, and that doesn't mean there's a hooker in the fucking hotel room that you walk into.
Though there is sometimes.
You know what I mean?
There is sometimes.
For somebody that fucking weak,
You'd have to.
that would be
stupid,
great.
by the way.
And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are that fucking stupid.
Or the
and
porn
weak.
sites. I'm going to look up tranny porn on YouPorn. Well, that's not controlled by a foreign intel service. Oh,
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And you think that data is not being collected? And you think those files aren't being shown to politicians that are thinking about voting a certain way that goes against those special interest groups or those intel agencies?
it is. That actually is true. So, yeah, I mean, there are a million ways that your weaknesses expose you to influence, for sure.
I think they can be very giving, and it in
He's like, ah, crap. What did I Google search? Oh no, they got me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's how the intelligences work, and that's how they operate. And right now, we are in one of the key, most important moments of disclosure, and we're not going to get it. That's my assessment after talking and doing this for 15 years, and that means that there's going to be more insane type of troubles for this administration. That's my 2 cents. I hope I'm wrong. What do you think is going to be happening next? What do you think is going to be happening with the disclosures? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here for you guys watching, subscribing, signing up to lookunfiltered.com. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. I'll hear exclusively on youtube.com/wearechanged.